All right, so hi everyone. We have Dana Finegold here, and she's going to guest lecture. So I asked her. I had a discussion with her and her husband Jamie. Is Jamie going to join?
I don't know. I didn't know I was going to lecture, but I can certainly do that.
Well, we're gonna. That's always a surprise.
Woo!
so I mean, typically, so whenever I bring in people from the industry to come discuss, I say, what am I going to talk about? I say, just talk about what we talked about in this previous discussion. So I don't do scripts. Even when podcasts, I don't do scripts. I mean, we just have conversations, and typically, I just want founders of organizations within the industry just to tell the students that once you graduate, that's whenever the work starts. And I try to explain to it, not just these students. These students get it because a lot of them have been in my previous courses. Rachel and Carlos have been in a previous course of mine, and they know me. They know I tell it like it is. I don't hold back. I don't sugarcoat anything. So I just try my best to prepare them for the industry to make them successful. And again, as I said on the call, all these students are within marketing. So if you can kind of bring in the marketing aspects in terms of what you look for, whenever you hire new graduates, as well as whenever you hire people that's coming from the marketing space. So Dana, could you introduce yourself? Could you talk a little bit about your organization?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dana Finegold. I'm co-founder of a fashion brand called Tarte Collections. And we founded the company about 25 years ago, and we founded the brand back in 2004. So not quite as old. My husband at the time and I started the company. We were both out of work, fresh out of college, and with a new baby. So things were a little bit desperate for money. Luckily, we were living in a house that my parents owned and were letting us live there rent free. So that definitely helped us. But, when you graduate college and you get out there in the real world, you're so smart in college and you're in this great school and you think you're going to get out and everything's going to be grand, and then you get into this job and all of a sudden you're the bottom of the ladder and you're like, wow, I was so smart in college. These people don't respect me. They're treating me like I'm a newbie. So you guys get used to that right now, that you guys are going to be the bottom of the line one day when you graduate, and you're going to have to work your way up. And that's certainly what we felt when we were in the workforce, being the young ones and not being able to climb fast enough. So when we had our first child, our daughter Bailey, who is 25 now, she sort of propelled us into wanting to be home more, wanting to be with her more, and wanting to do something on our own. So that's how we started the business. We basically knocked off another brand, basically saying, what can we do better that they're already doing, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs do. You don't necessarily have to be the first one to create something in the market. You just have to be the best one, or at least one of the better ones to, really get your name out there. So we started doing junior girls sleepwear, and at the time there was a company called Joe Boxer that was doing a great job. And they actually, do you remember Joe Boxer?
I do remember Joe Boxer. That's
Yeah.
why that's funny.
Yeah, so they were a San Francisco company also, and they had a great idea. I mean, they had funny sayings. You would call their office, and they would have this guy talking on their recorder saying, Joe Boxer, we're all about underwear, change daily. Just like a joke, like reminding people to change their underwear daily. It was pretty funny. So they got a little crazy. Their founders started doing drugs and having huge parties and went bankrupt. So I recommend don't do that when you get out and make a little money. There's been several fashion brands that have gone out of business because their owners just lose their mind. They do drugs, they have parties, they have women, and they're done. So anyways, we sort of, jumped into their space and started making sleepwear, and getting the orders that normally would have gone to Joe Boxer, which was great for us. We started making money really quickly and, trying out different things. And then we didn't really market ourselves very well, which I would say, it's funny that I'm in a marketing class right now, because I would say that marketing is our weakest point in our company. So maybe you guys can teach me something today. But we never marketed ourselves as a huge brand when we started, and so what we were finding out is we had just become a commodity. So the department stores would come to us and they would buy our clothes, but if we didn't have the right price, they would just go somewhere else because our brand really did not mean anything to them. So that would be my number one thing if I were to start a company now, is to make my brand number one, because if your brand means something, you can mark your prices up a little bit more. You don't get priced out of the game. So you also you just have more bargaining power with the stores when they try to come back and ask for markdown money. So what happened to us was we were dealing with department stores, and the department stores were giving us these great orders. And then at the end of the year, they would come back to us and say, you sold us $1 million worth of goods and we weren't able to sell it at the price we thought we were going to sell it at. So we would like you to pay us $200,000 to make up the profit that we didn't make. And so every year we would think, oh, we're going to make $2 million this year. And then it would come out, oh, we really only made $1 million, or maybe they want everything back in markdown money. So I was looking at our financials and I thought, why are we selling these accounts that are so horrible to us? So we started choosing our customers after that. So we gave our customers ratings on their markdown money, how easy they were to deal with, how big their orders were. And we started eliminating people. So we eliminated Macy's and we eliminated Sears and we eliminated J.C. Penney and Kohl's and these department stores, which, most people were like, this is great business. For us, we just weren't big enough to sustain a relationship with them. So we started focusing on the Tarte brand. And we said, we're going to, number one, build a brand. And number two, we're going to choose our customers. And those customers are going to be a good partner with us, not just somebody to buy clothes. So we started dealing with boutiques. And we learned that having more diversification in our customers was actually a little bit safer for us. So if we lose one boutique store, it's not a big deal. If you lose Walmart, you pretty much go bankrupt. So that's sort of our strategy at that time. And it worked because we were able to get those sales. But what we didn't realize with this strategy was that we needed to be an e-com and be really good marketers, which we are not. So we have been struggling for the past 10 years, sorry, with our e-com strategy, and we still are working on. In fact, we have a new team that's starting this week on our e-com. So we just hired a consultant to come in and be our sort of marketing director, our e-com strategy director. So and then we hired a new agency that's going to be doing our Facebook ads and our Google ads. And we have an in-house guy that's doing our emails, and I'm learning a lot about it. And I would suggest, if you guys are marketers, that you definitely learn that e-com game really well. Maybe try your own little website while you're in school. Pick anything to try and sell, just buy something and try to resell it. Go on those websites where you can resell your clothes. Just do your best to really focus on that part, because if you don't know that part, marketing is really, I don't know. Would you agree, Justin, that if you don't have the e-com part, marketing is not going to be that great?
The way I see it now, and I told everyone the first class, I say, I'm not a marketing person, I'm a supply chain person, but from what I see, if you're not on social media, you don't exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's my perception of it. And and that's why I explain to all these people, where it depends on what industry you're in and what social media platform you use. Since I'm in business, LinkedIn is my area. Clubhouse is my area. And we went around, and we're gonna go around the room too. So y'all get ready. So like, for example, Noah's in the assisted living, type area. LinkedIn's not going to be not going to be his market, right? He's not going to waste his time on LinkedIn. He's probably not going to waste his time on Clubhouse, talking
Maybe
about.
next door.
He might be able to get something on Clubhouse with assisted living, but I mean, the point is, like, LinkedIn, he's not going to waste his time with that. And that's why I explained to everyone, where you have to figure out where your market's at. You know, you got to figure out where the money's at. So you know, that's what I've been explaining to them. And I've been pushing the heck out of Clubhouse and things like that, because that's how we met. You know, that's how
Right.
you, Jamie and I met. So, you know, that's just a perfect example.
So let's see. What I would look for. I mean, you guys. The great thing about your generation is you guys grew up with technology. My generation. I mean, when I had my first job, we just got the internet. So, so I came out of college, you know, I didn't have a laptop or anything like that. We had to go to the computer lab to write our papers. So there's been a lot of change from the time I graduated college until today. And trying to fight through that as an older person is much more difficult than you guys. You know everything already regarding technology. And so it's just building on that little bit that, you know, little bit extra that you need to know. I mean, I watch my 16-year-old and I go to her all the time. I'm like, Lauren, can you help me do this? Like, can you make this graphically or do this presentation or whatever? I don't know how to do any of that. So you guys have an edge, which is amazing. And you guys should feel happy about that, where, you know, youth in the past, like I said, may have been seen as like, you don't know enough, you're a newbie. You guys can go in, and if you can act professionally and if you have the emotional intelligence, you can really dominate at a young age in this industry. So I'm excited for you guys, you know, taking these courses and majoring in marketing. I think it's a great area. I wish that I had done more of that. Um, I don't know. Does anybody have any questions or want to know anything about business? I don't really know what else you guys might want to know. I'm not a huge talker. I'm a money person.
All right. So yeah. So what we're going to do is, this is just my approach. I mean, I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around the room, and I'm going to say, okay, one, you know, what recommendations would you have for Dana for her organization from a marketing perspective? And then two, you know, what questions you have. So we're going to start with Rachel.
I would really recommend getting in not only on Facebook, but Instagram would also be a good platform. I'm implementing Pinterest right now for my company. For some of our clients, I think Pinterest would also be a good space for you. There's something called Pinterest Academy, and it kind of walks you through all of the different steps, and it gives like lessons based on selling on Pinterest, and then you can become like a verified merchant and sell your product through Pinterest, which is where a lot of people go. I think it's 80% of people go to Pinterest for like ideas. So having that extra space would also, I think, help your company, especially if you're in retail.
Yeah, I didn't know about Pinterest Academy. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, I just found out about it as well. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool
that's
though.
awesome. Yeah, we're
Oh,
on
Pinterest was
Instagram.
just for pictures. What's really
I
see
think you
see
can sell
see?
on Pinterest, right?
Yep, you can sell on it.
Yeah. We have our 25-year-old daughter does our Instagram for us. She works for Snapchat. So if any of you guys want to get into Snapchat, I can connect you.
So you see how this works? Rachel, do you have any questions?
Um, so I know like how hard it can be to like start up your own business. So what would you say like was the major like issue you had when starting, if there was
Mm.
one?
Okay, money. So when starting your own company, you know, you have a great idea, you know how to market it, you know where you want to get it produced, how are you going to pay for it, and how are you going to survive while you're in the first couple of years of business. That's the biggest thing for anybody. So you either have to have money in your bank account, you have to have parents willing to help you out, or you got to go ask for money. And coming out of college and asking for money is near impossible unless you really have a business plan and you go, I don't know, venture capital route or something like that. So what we did was we didn't really know what we were going to do, and my dad was like, "So, how are you going to make that order?" And we were like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. And he was like, "Really, figure it out? Okay, well, tell me how you're going to figure it out." So he actually suggested that we get a loan from the bank. And knowing that we were 26 years old and, you know, had been traveling Europe and not really serious about work yet, we had no way that we were going to get a loan. So we had our parents, both of our dads, co-sign the loan for us. That's how we got started. But I would say financing is usually a big problem when you start a business.
Rachel, could you tell Dana about your the vision you have? Because maybe she knows people. That's how all this starts.
Right.
So I'm working right now for a full marketing firm, and I really love it. I kind of am figuring out what I like more. So they do social media, but I do a lot of like the marketing research for us and kind of have been getting us like client ideas based off of that. So I think I'm very much into the marketing research aspect of it. After I graduate, I want to work in the field for a while, and then I want to eventually become a professor, going back, getting my master's and then my doctorate.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. So what are you learning from what kind of things are you researching right now?
So I just got finished with researching different local products and then different local nonprofits near us, and we're going to create free promotional videos for them. So for the clients, they don't know about it. Well, they're not our clients yet. We're hoping that after they see these videos that they'll want to work with us. And then for the nonprofit, I was able to reach out to the president and I got us a meeting. So we had a phone call with them last week and we have an in-person meeting with them this week. And we kind of hope to partner with them and then create more videos for them and like just help get their name out so that more people are aware about their organization.
That's great. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, a
She
lot of
she
companies
never told me
don't.
she wanted to teach. You see how this works?
Yeah, exactly. Now you know. She was like, well, you said to like let her know if there's some job I want. Teach. That's great. You know, a lot of companies don't do enough research. I mean, small companies like ours, like we don't have money for research. So, you know, I was kind of thinking like having a research firm for small businesses would be great, where you could go in and do their, you know, research for them and say, this is the direction we think you should be going in. Be kind of amazing. Maybe you could have that as your side gig.
Yeah, Upwork, Fiverr. There you go. And then you'll get the experience in doing that. And if you have that small and medium type niche, that's where that so because that research is totally different than the Fortune 500 company, Fortune
Oh
100
yeah.
company. So that's your focus. Like you can't really be a generalist for research, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So and then you can get even narrower where you have like you have like nonprofit focus. Where you're probably going to be one of maybe like 3 people in the country in that space.
That's right.
That's your differentiator.
Yeah. And the barrier to entry, you got to love like, I mean, anybody could enter, but not many people have the experience in research. There's not a lot of people in it. So
Yeah. That's what a lot of people, say to me, like, man, it's like, you're so, you blend supply chain, you blend AI, you blend all these technologies. Like many people don't do that. I say, I know.
right. Yes, exactly.
I know.
Bingo.
All right. Anything else, Rachel?
I don't think so.
All
Thanks
right.
for sharing, Rachel.
Thanks. Carlos, any recommendations, any questions?
No, just like Rachel said, Instagram is a good way to market your stuff. Just like with I have an internship at a roofing company where they had a marketing agency, but they didn't like how they were doing their stuff, so they went their own way and market their own stuff. So we're kind of new at everything. So Instagram is one way where we integrated that into marketing for us. Analytics is also another part that's gonna help. We use Google Analytics. We're trying to see which other analytic platforms we could use, but if you could manage to find out the amount of clicks you get for your business or anything, it helps on knowing your crowd on who would be best for you and as a business.
Yeah, the gal that we just hired, the marketing strategy gal, she's going to be watching our analytics, which I'm excited about. We use Google Analytics, and I don't really know a lot about it, clicks through and all that stuff.
Right.
I should know more about it. That's going to be my goal, is to pay more attention to her and learn more about that. But she's going to be making sure that our agency is getting the most bang for the buck. So I mean, if you don't know your analytics like us, you kind of waste a lot of money, which it's not profitable. We're here to make money. I mean, I like fashion, but I like money better.
Yeah, ClickFunnels is another one I've been looking at personally.
ClickFunnels?
ClickFunnels.
ClickFunnels.
For analytics?
Yes. like click-through rate and things like that?
Okay.
I would say influencers. I feel like that's the biggest thing with when it comes to marketing clothing.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Gravinder.
All right. Sorry, I was looking.
Yeah, like especially like TikTok, you know. I've seen like let's say like Charlie D'Amelio or anyone famous on TikTok wear anything nowadays, and all of a sudden it has like value. Like recently there was these pajamas, right? They're called like Roller Rabbit, and the company was like nobody, you know. It was like worth nothing, and as soon as this girl wore it, all of a sudden the company's like, you know, generating $1 million.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, we would love that too. Our influencers, they're so expensive. So we're trying to figure out like how we get somebody to do something.
It really takes one. You have to look for the low key ones, like the ones that aren't like fully blown up, but they still have like a great following, you know, and they won't charge out of the bank. Like that's what we did.
That's what we've been doing too. Like thinking about like micro influencers, like maybe they have like 20,000 followers or something like that. We're kind of looking for, like, our customer is like, we call her the hot soccer mom. And she's usually like 35 to 55 years old. And we're like, who is the cool mom in every town? That's who we
You know what you should do. I had a great idea.
What?
So there's like a whole like page on like vacuums, right? And most of the time it is like moms like showcasing like how cool these vacuums are on TikTok, right?
Oh,
And half
really?
the time they're literally advertising like, oh, look at these new like sweats I got, and like people are actually buying them just because like these moms like, you know,
Are saying
educate
they're cool.
people. Yeah,
How do they get those moms?
it's literally
They slide their DMs.
yeah, they'll be like, yo, here, we'll
Yeah.
send you our clothes. And their mom, they're not really like looking for money because the platform to them is like, you know, just to like, you know, educate people.
Yeah, they're just like, they're bored at home. They're like, I'm sick of my husband and kids. Like, somebody pay me some attention.
Yeah, but that's
That's our
you
girl.
laugh, you laugh, but that's what
No,
it
I'm
is.
not laughing. I know. That's my
Yeah.
reality. It's true though. Like if we can get some attention to some of these women, I mean, that's sort of my goal. Like I'm super passionate about moms, you know, and women in general. It's just like helping them feel better about themselves. So I'm really not like I wouldn't say I'm like a fashionista, but I'm passionate that fashion can help women feel better about themselves. So I think that, you know, our bodies go through so many changes, and I just don't know how to get that message out to people. Like I wish I could have this little platform that we have right here with like women across America where I could talk about like, are you feeling crappy about yourself? And
That's
this and that.
Clubhouse.
Like you go, girl. Oh, that's a good idea. But
That's
are women
Clubhouse.
on Clubhouse though? Like how do I
Huh?
find those women on Clubhouse? I don't
There's
think,
millions of them. Literally, there's millions of them.
really?
There's millions of them.
Okay.
Yes. You're not on
I
Clubhouse?
can,
Because Jamie dropped in on Thursday, and then he left before I could call him out because he came on the stage.
oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Then he
That may have been when I stopped by. I had some issues with some of our productions, so I stopped by his house to show him some stuff, and he was on Clubhouse, and I was like, "You got 10 minutes of me. Like, you want it now, or you know, we got to talk now, or I'm out." So he had to bounce.
Yeah. So yeah, he dropped. He dropped. Oh, so you know Rebecca Minkoff?
Yeah.
The person's on. Yeah, she came into the room last night, and like the room went
she
crazy.
did?
Yeah, she came into our room. She came into our room. She spoke, and the room went crazy. And then she stayed on for like 30 more minutes, and you know she left. But she said she's gonna come in on in other rooms.
So
You know,
you have a room. So that's how you met Jamie. You have a room that's just for supply chain, or?
No, we have a fashion and tech room.
Now how do I find it? Because I went on Clubhouse to listen, but I don't know how to find you.
So you just follow me. If you follow me on Clubhouse, then every
Okay.
time I'm speaking or every time I'm on the stage, you'll get pinged.
Okay.
But it's getting to the point now where like, so I haven't looked at it for 5 minutes, and I've got notifications for like 10 rooms. That's why it's crazy. Now, like I said to you, now I did that to this class. You know, I went into a room, and within a couple of seconds, somebody asked me to come on the stage and speak.
Really?
You know, it's like that. So
Wow.
so yeah, we have rooms on every Thursday and Sunday. Rebecca Minkoff came in yesterday. We had a journalist from Forbes come in, and then we're doing talking about discussing TikTok. So all of us are speaking at a at a digital fashion conference. And we were thinking about doing like a TikTok promo and things like that, like where you throw something and like it falls off the side of the thing and like that, so that's
I
stuff
did
we've
one
been
of
thinking
those.
about. Yeah,
I didn't
it's
do
gonna,
it for TikTok, but I did it for Instagram on like when we first started the pandemic and my daughter was there with me. I'm like, let's try this. So I would like
Yeah.
try on a jacket and then like the music would be going and then all of a sudden I'm in a different one and people loved it. And then I just,
people love it, and that's how you get awareness of your brand.
yeah, I know. I guess I should be doing that on TikTok instead of on, well, I mean, also on Instagram, but TikTok I think is huge. People lay there for hours watching that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I was explaining to them, like there's rooms just specifically for social media and marketing in Clubhouse.
In Clubhouse, okay.
Yeah, it's Clubhouse is just absolutely. I can't say enough good things about it.
Okay.
All right, thanks for that, Noah.
Hi, sorry I missed 15 minutes of your talk. I got caught in a snow squall on my way home, so it really helped.
Oh, that's okay. Where are you?
I'm in Taylor now, but I was in Carbondale.
Okay.
Pennsylvania. She's from California, Noah, so she didn't know about unless she
Wait.
goes to Lake Tahoe. She hadn't seen such snow since she went to Lake Tahoe.
Gotcha. Okay.
See?
That's my view.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer than what we have going on out here.
It's gonna be like 75 today.
That's nice. But, yeah, you said you're in the fashion industry and your primary target is like soccer moms.
Yeah.
I really liked what Gurvinder was saying. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But,
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, with finding the smaller influencers that you definitely don't have to pay as much. And if they're in your niche, then you're going to get a lot of eyes on your product that are potential customers. I really like that. I don't really have anything original right now, though.
Okay. That's good. I like that too. That's definitely something I thought of and probably should get more involved myself in just reaching out to them.
Noah, you have any questions?
Not right now. If one comes up, I'll let you know.
All right, thanks.
What year are all you guys?
We're all different, but I'm a senior.
I'm a senior.
Okay.
I'm a senior.
A senior.
Yeah, I think everyone's a senior, I think. Brittany, are you
Yep.
there?
Yep, I'm here. I was about to say I'm a senior as well.
Okay, Brittany, what any thoughts, any input, any questions?
I think the Pinterest idea that Rachel brought up would be a really good idea because you are able to like buy and sell stuff on Pinterest and they have trending hashtags. So I know the hashtags might be a good way to start marketing your product as well because they go across platforms. And then that way, if anyone ever likes anything, they can just click on the hashtag and it will bring up everything about your product and other similar hashtags with your product. Also, Facebook has analytics for your conversion ratio of how many clicks you're getting on your website versus how many people are actually, I don't know if your website has the ability to purchase stuff directly from it, like how many people are buying compared to just visiting. They do a lot of stuff like that, slightly different than Google Analytics. My question though was, what made you start, you said you really liked fashion, but what was it about junior pajamas? You said junior girl pajamas. That's a very unusual market to want to start in.
Yeah, it really is. I know. Actually, that was Jamie's idea. So he's really into fashion. He always has been. He was the guy in high school that like bleached his 50. Do you guys know what Levi's 501s are? Maybe.
You know what Levi's are?
Yes, they're the button fly,
Okay.
right?
Let's start from the
with that
beginning.
question.
Way back in the day, back in the 80s, when I was in high school, they had this thing called Levi's blue jeans, and they had a 501s, and you would buy them, and they would be like this big on your waist, and when you would wash them, they would shrink down and mold to your body. So after about 5 washings, they were the best jeans you ever had in your entire life. They had button fly, and guys and girls bought the same jeans, and you just molded them to your body by washing them and wearing them. So that was the big thing. And I don't know why those haven't come back, but if I own Levi's, I would certainly be making a big deal out of that because I think it's really fun. So what we did in the day was we would bleach the jeans. You could crumple them up in a bucket and stick them in bleach, and then they would come out all splotchy, or you could just bleach them totally white and then dye them a color. So Jamie was the guy when he was a senior in high school that bleached his 501s and then dyed them pink and wore them to school as a straight guy. So he was sort of the fashion setter, trendsetter in our school in California. And it was his idea to come up with junior girl sleepwear because he had been working for a sleepwear company, but he always liked fast fashion. And so he saw what Joe Boxer was doing with the fun stuff. And he thought, you know what? There's not enough sleepwear that's these funky fabrics and colors and sparkly and stuff like that. And so he found this fabric called Panay, which I don't know if is anybody familiar with Panay. It's kind of like a crushed velvet and it's shimmery. And he started making pajamas out of it. And the buyers were like, this stuff is crazy. I don't know what we're going to do with this, but I think it's kind of cool. And just sort of created a niche out of that. And so I would say, Jane, I wish he was here because his biggest thing is he is like an innovator and he always comes up with new things to do. So he's kind of a fun guy, but maybe he'll join another class. But anyways, that's how
I just sent you a message about a later class today. So I'll miss
okay. That's how he got into, or that's how we got into junior sleepwear, which actually happened to be a blessing because nobody was in it. We couldn't compete on how well we produced or our price or our designs on sleepwear for older ladies because that's super easy to do, you know, and you put a little Scotty dog on anything and it would sell. But, you know, juniors was fun.
Excellent. Anything else, Brittany? Good question.
No, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, does that mean that were you competing against Cuddle Duds? And I feel like Lisa Frank also had a lot of those funky designs, but I didn't know if they were in pajamas or not. Bringing up some old brands here.
I think we were before Cuddle Duds. Long before, I think. I don't know, when was Cuddle Duds founded? We were back in, let's see, we started our business in 96.
Yeah, Cuddle Duds I think was like 2010s. Maybe late 2000s.
Yeah, I'm old, sweetheart. No. No, yeah, so we were before them. We were before, I think we were the only junior sleepwear company at the time. So we went from 0 in sales, like the first year I think we did 400 in sales. The next year we did 1 million, then we did 4 million, and then we did 8 million. That was our growth pattern the first 4 years of our business. It was absolutely insane. Our friends who were the same age as us were like, how are you buying Porsches and new houses and boats? Like, what is going on? Are you guys like selling drugs? We're like, we don't know. People like it.
Yeah. But that's how it goes.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, when
you're an
you
innovator, it changes the game.
When you hit it right, you get that product that's right, you know right away if it's going to be successful. I mean, if you're struggling to get sales in your first couple years, like, I don't know, just switch, do something different.
So that's excellent. That's excellent advice.
Yeah, like don't stick with something that nobody wants to buy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're too early to the game, which could be as far as technology. But if you're selling an ordinary product like clothing or toothbrushes or something like that, and nobody's buying it in the first year, like you got to switch.
Yeah. And that's one thing we talk a lot about within that room, you know, in the fashion tech room. You know, some of the things that were coming like in 2010, for example, they would be crazy right now because now it's the time for it. But those organizations went bankrupt.
Yeah.
But no one understood it.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, I gotta grab my charger.
Cuddle Duds. Never heard of that one. That one's a new one for me.
They're really, in my opinion, they're very targeted towards older women in their like probably 40s to 50s. And I just happened to stumble across it because my mom got me one. And it's some of like the softest fleece and fabric. And they use some type of like microfiber that's absolutely great. And they have a lot of fun patterns that aren't just, if you don't mind me saying, little Scotty dogs.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like I have a whole cactus set, and that was something that I never really thought I would need until I saw it.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, micro fleece is amazing. It is so soft. It's like that softest stuffed animal you ever got. You're just like, can't take it off.
Excellent. So Govinder, do you have anything else to add? I'm just going down the list right now.
Not really, other than that TikTok thing I said, but really, yeah, I would really like nowadays in like this new generation, I really feel like influence are like the number one way to get out there.
I think so too. Isn't it amazing that we went from regular TV with scripts and actors to like reality TV, and then we went from regular advertising with scripts and actors to now like regular people.
Like back in the day, you needed a couple thousand. Now all you need is your iPhone, and boom, that's literally it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it was like the cool kids ruled, and then the nerds ruled for a while, like because it was all the smart people getting on the business, and now it's like the cool kids again. Like, oh, if you're cool and you can make a TikTok and people like you, like
it's
like
like
the
a loop.
Kardashians. Like, what the heck? Like, it's crazy.
Now they're quiet and just still making billions.
I mean, they don't need to do anything except lay around and get fed grapes.
Yeah.
All those videos, every time I think their like show plays, don't they make money from that? Like they literally can't do anything. They could go broke and still generate money.
Yeah, I heard something yesterday on a news show that said that 30% of young people today believe that they're going to be famous one day. I was like, oh my God, like when I was growing up, no one believed they were going to be famous.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like you can make like a stupid video on TikTok or any platform, and it could blow up. And next thing you know, like,
yeah, you're famous.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to explain is that's not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a one-hit wonder you probably don't even know what that means. But anyway, back in the record industry, back in the music industry, when you're a one-hit wonder, you put out one record like Vanilla Ice, and he'd make millions of dollars.
Milli Vanilli.
Oh, MC Hammer was in my room the other night.
What?
Talking about yes, I got a picture of it. Talking about NFTs. Yes, it was. My mind was blown. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
loved MC Hammer.
Yeah, see, y'all remember MC Hammer?
No.
Yeah, those parachute pants.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, he was like whenever I was in elementary school, but I can't believe I don't remember him. Oh my goodness gracious.
These kids were born in the 2000s, right? Were you guys born in 2000? When were you?
99,
right?
98.
99, 98.
Yeah. Oh, MC Hammer was broke then. All right. Anyway.
Do any of you know what you want to do when you get out?
Yeah. Right now I have a real estate marketing and photography company, and with the money from that, I'm using to start up to build into modular land development. So like the modular homes that you see, I'll start placing those on land once I'm done with this.
Okay.
What's the difference between a modular home and like a mini home, like a mini house?
A modular home can be anything. So like if you look outside in your neighbor house, that can be built into a modular house in like AutoCAD or anything. So any house you can see can be made into a factory, put onto a flatbed, and lowered by cranes. I actually have a video where I can send you later where they are lowering the modular home with a crane.
I have a friend who manufactures container buildings and apartment buildings.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, he manufactures them in China.
Something like that.
Yeah, puts those containers on the ship and like clicks them into place like Legos. He's doing one in London right now.
That's impressive. Maybe one day.
I can hook you up one day if you want to talk to him.
Yeah, hook me up with that because I got some property in Savannah I need to use. I might.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. The port's right there. So Port of Charleston and Savannah.
Oh, they have a strike?
Hmm?
They're on strike? Is that what you said? Oh, the port's right there.
Yeah, the port's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Bring them right in.
Yeah. So Matt, do you have any questions? Any questions? Any suggestions for?
A suggestion, since I'm in like the video and photography, I would recommend like building like the psychology factors into it, like building excitement for a product. Like for me, I do videos sometimes of houses, and I want to use a track that builds excitement for the house, or like not like a boring track, but like something that'll build excitement and not just like plain background music, If it's just like plain background music over a house, it's nothing. But if you have like a cinematic moving track with it, you're going to build excitement and thoughts and inspiration throughout that. But say on like a store page, you can embed a music file and then have that play like quietly, maybe build some inspirational thoughts.
I really like that idea, actually. I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, how I want to get my like heart into like the marketing somehow. Um, I don't know exactly how to do that, but I feel like when I talk to people offline, talk to women about clothing and how I feel about it and how it makes me feel, they get really excited and they're like, oh my God, like we got to do this, we got to do that. They get so excited, but I'm like, how do I bring that to online, like talking to people who I can't see? Because I'm sort of one of those people that feeds off the energy of other people. So that's sort of a struggle for me, but definitely something maybe I don't know. I need to get somebody probably to help me with that.
Yeah, that's where the social media is going to come in, and that's where like I said, that clubhouse. But you have to be. It takes up a lot of your time. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like you have to have like be on there like not really daily, but even every other day. That we had a room that went 3.5 hours last night. Right?
Wow.
I have to work. It went
Yeah.
3.5 hours last night. Right? But we make all of us make so many connections
Yeah.
in that room. Like I said, Jamie was just hanging out in the room, and then he pinged me on Instagram. Now you're guest lecturing at Penn State.
I know. Isn't
It's
that
nuts,
crazy?
right? So yeah, I'm telling you, the clubhouse, you got to figure out a way because so whenever this thing first came out, like I got in on December, and we were just going in there, just sharing our knowledge and things like that. And then about 5 or 6 of us got in the room one night and said, okay, how are these people monetizing this? Because you had Damon John, you had Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He was just in there last Tuesday or
He's
something
amazing.
like
He's
that.
wonderful.
Yeah, Grant Cardone is in the room like every other day. It's like they're not in here for no reason. Like
No.
why? What's the deal? What's
Right.
the deal? But then another individual I spoke with, he said that those people will slide in their DMs, and then they'll speak with them face to face. So Grant Cardone will like speak to somebody like me face to
Really?
face, but then he'll sell somebody his like training programs for like $10,000 or something like that.
Yeah, but you can go in Clubhouse and get it for free.
You can go in Clubhouse. You can go in Clubhouse, and that's the marketing. So the marketing is they'll give people nuggets on Clubhouse, but then they'll get people like Grant Cardone face to face, and then Grant will say, "Oh yeah, I'll show you all this great stuff on Clubhouse, but for $10,000, you can get the real deal. You can get the 10x plan and stuff and things like that."
Smart.
So it's like if you share, because like the one thing that a lot of people, because we had like 150 people in our room last night, and there's a lot of founders for fashion companies, and I think the consensus is like they tell their story. They say everybody has a story. The garment has a story. The reason why you started a company, it has a story. So like you have to use social media to tell your story, and that's how people are going to connect with you, right? That's how those moms are going to connect with you, and
Yeah.
that's when they're going to start. That's when they're going to start following your brand. That's when they're going to start buying your products, start looking for your products. That's the thing. And how do you do that? I don't know. That you'll have to figure that out. Bless you. Nikki, you there?
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I guess I have two questions. My first question would be, in the beginning, you were saying for your company, you guys really wanted to build up your marketing more. And so you were looking into hiring, or you already have different individuals or organizations to help you out with that. So what was the main factor or the thing that stuck out that really made you say they're the ones I want?
For me, like it starts off with the personality. I need to be able to trust them. And so if I meet somebody and I'm talking to them and they seem very genuine and really, no BS. I don't like a lot of flash when I'm talking to somebody. I don't want to be sold. and things like that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is if they know their stuff, which it's been hard for me to tell because I don't know my stuff in marketing. But the gal that we just hired, she's super down to earth, very genuine. She knows a lot about the numbers. She's been organizing it for me, saying this is what we need to look for. We need to cut through the BS on the agencies and, you know, Facebook, how much we're spending. So I feel like she's, you know, I'm not going to say that I know she's great. I feel like she's great. And I will let you guys know how that goes. But sometimes it's just a gut instinct of how a person comes across to you. So she's not super flashy or anything. She just seems down to earth and knows her numbers.
Right. I guess my second question is that you said your company grew kind of fast.
Yeah.
So how did you deal with that and keep up with that without getting completely overwhelmed?
That was a real challenge for us because at the time we started, we had a baby. So let's see, Bailey was 1 when we started, and we had 2 more kids within the next 4 years. So 3 kids, both of us working full time in the business. We were crazy growing, building a house, just insane, trying to hire people. We had never been a boss to anybody before. Like we were the low man on the totem pole in our careers. And then I should say our jobs. It was not a career, it was a job at the time. And then, you know, going into hiring people. I mean, we worked all the time, nonstop, from morning till night. We just kept working. We read this book called The E-Myth, which, do you know that book, Justin?
Mm-mm.
It's a great book for anyone that wants to start a company. So it basically breaks down all the roles within a company and then tells you how to find people for those roles, what roles you should do, what roles you should get somebody else to do. So we both read that book. That was like our bedtime reading for the kids. And, we're like, okay, kids, next we're going to hire a marketing person. And, you know, we just did as much as we could every single day. And we got up the next morning and we kept doing more. So I don't know how we did it. Actually, I look back, I'm like, we were hardworking individuals. I mean, we still are.
And that's one important thing that again, I'm being transparent, but I think that the students that I've been dealing with that's graduated, they don't think they get that. I don't think they understand that in these days. Because I have a lot of my mentors that say, Justin, they don't have, some of these students don't have the work ethic we had, but that's how we grew up.
Yeah, we did.
And the times have changed. And I say that I think that yes, you're in a digital age, but if you leverage that technology, now you can become more efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your peers, they're not going to have that. They're not going to have that work ethic. They're not going to have that grit.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I mean, you guys, like, don't be afraid to get in and get your hands dirty on anything that they hand you. If you see your boss dealing with something when you get in your job, or somebody above you, or, you know, a peer doing something that you can help with, like, jump in and do it. If you're that person that that's so helpful, they're always going to call on you for the next big thing. So when we started, I mean, I was doing everything from cleaning the bathrooms to payroll to, you know, looking at the financials and strategy. And, you know, there was nothing that was beneath me at the time. And I mean, still, if I walk in my building and there's something that's not clean and nobody's there, I will clean it because I'm not afraid of hard work. And you guys shouldn't be either. That's one way where you can differentiate yourself from your own generation, is to not be afraid to do the little things and the hard work, because so many kids are like, I'm not going to do that.
Right?
Like, are you kidding me? Like, I've never had to do that before.
Isn't there a job for that? Doesn't somebody else do that?
Yeah. That's not oh my God. Never, ever, ever in your entire career say to somebody, that is not my job. Yeah. Never say that.
That's career. Yeah. That is career suicide right there.
That is career. Your boss will be like, oh, okay, I'll find somebody who doesn't say that to me, because I don't want to deal with people that talk back. I just need somebody to get the job done. Yeah. So I would say, like, do everything you can, make yourself make yourself so valuable to your boss that they cannot live without you. Yeah. And if you do that, they'll bring you along with them. And maybe one day you'll be their peer, or maybe even their boss. You never know. or maybe even you'll be hiring them for your own company one day. But learn everything you can.
That is phenomenal. That was phenomenal advice. I've told my students a long time. I say, I'm gonna be working for you one day.
Yeah.
Because you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it. You know.
We hired some of Jamie's people that worked with him at his old company. I mean, he told his warehouse manager when he was working for another company, he said, Sam, one day you're going to work for me. Sam was like, "Ah, you're so funny, Jamie." He was like, "No, really, Sam, you're going to work for me."
Sam worked here for 10 years.
Yeah. Sam worked for us for 22 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite employees. I love Sam.
Yeah. All right, so we got a couple minutes left. Anyone else have anything else? This has been phenomenal. I hope it's been valuable for everyone, especially you, Dana.
It's been really valuable for me. And if anybody ever has questions or needs a contact, I have tons of connections. So you can always DM me. I may not have it, but you never know. I might.
You never know.
Yeah.
And like I tell you time and time again, you have nothing to lose to ask. The worst thing that can happen is Dana gets busy and she doesn't respond. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Exactly. You what was it? I always think of, if I ask, I have a 50% chance of a yes. If I don't ask, I have a 0% chance of a yes.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else? All right. So Dana, thank you once again. I sent you a message on Instagram because I got another class coming up to see if you want to come speak on supply chain.
Okay. All right. I'll check it right now.
All right.
You guys, thank you so much for all the tips. I appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. So what do y'all think? Is that helpful?
Very much.
All right. So I actually have another person. Well, I don't know why I'm in fact. I just know marketing people in the fashion industry. I have another person I do that clubhouse room with. I talked to her last night. Well, this morning about 1 o'clock. She said that she'd come speak. It may not. I'll see how busy she is this week. It might be next week. And then, as I said, there's going to be another person. Do y'all feel someone coming in is beneficial instead of hearing? Because the content that we go through, we're going to be looking for stuff to do. I'm just being real with you. You know, once we get toward the end of the class, and we're going to get all the work, we're going to get all the assignments done, no problem. Well, what do we have to do this week? Give me a second. Let me get to the class. I know we got 5 minutes, right? All right, give me a second. Let's see here. Because I can just push it a week, it will be good. But I know some of you like to get your work done early, which I truly appreciate. All right, strategic business. All right, let's see, modules. We are, it's 22nd. So we had corporate strategy, right? So corporate strategy. All right, we'll do corporate strategy. We'll do corporate strategy Wednesday. I'll see if the other person can come in next week, because Cynthia wants to come in on the 15th. So yeah, we'll do corporate strategy. We'll do corporate strategy Wednesday. All right. All right. Anything else before we close it out? See, we're actually ending early one day. Right. We'll even out probably around a March time frame. We'll get back even. Anything else?
I just wanted to ask Nikki if she got my email yesterday, because I know we were having problems earlier in the semester.
Yeah, I got it, and I've got everything uploaded, so we're good.
All right, thanks.
All right. Anything else?
Thank you. Have a good day. Thanks for
All right,
bringing
see ya.
Dana on.
All right, see you.